Through meditation. Meditation was central to the Stoic practice, allowing them to maintain a calm and focused mind amid the chaos of life. By dedicating time to meditation, you create space for self-reflection, enhancing both your emotional and intellectual clarity. Through daily practice, you cultivate emotional balance, self-awareness, and the ability to remain undistracted. In times of stress or challenge, your mind will be steadier, your decisions more deliberate, and your responses more logical. This inner tranquility sharpens your capacity to think critically and solve problems with clarity. 10. Live by virtue, the ultimate path to intelligence. At the core of Stoicism is the belief that living virtuously, pursuing wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline is the ultimate path to intelligence. Virtue is not a destination, but a continual practice that requires thoughtfulness, humility, and self-awareness. Living virtuously brings mental clarity, as it removes the clutter of guilt, dishonesty, and regret. It helps you focus on what is truly important, making better decisions, forming meaningful relationships, and prioritizing long-term goals over short-term pleasures. Virtue also enhances emotional intelligence, as it requires empathy, fairness, and the ability to navigate social dynamics with wisdom and grace. The path of Stoicism is not for the faint of heart. It is a road less traveled, full of challenges, adversity, and discomfort. But this is the very road that leads to growth, wisdom, and true intelligence. If there's one psychological skill ultra-rich people have mastered, it's delayed gratification. In simple terms, that means resisting the temptation of a smaller reward, now in order to reap a much bigger reward later. Psychologists say this trait is a huge predictor of success. In the famous Stanford marshmallow experiment, children who resisted eating one marshmallow immediately and waited to get 2 marshmallows later ended up achieving higher academic and life success when researchers followed up years later. The same principle applies to money. Wealthy individuals are willing to sacrifice now to benefit later. They might drive an older car or live in a modest home while building their business, instead of spending every dollar as soon as they earn it. They reinvest profits back into their ventures or portfolios. They prioritize long-term gains over instant pleasure. Consider investing. The ultra-rich often choose an investment that might take 5 or 10 years to pay off, rather than chasing a get-rich-quick scheme. They understand the power of compound interest and growth over time. Someone with a scarcity or short-term mindset might cash out investments at the first sign of profit or panic sell during a downturn. In contrast, a wealthy mindset person thinks, where could this grow if I give it time? They are patient. For example, legendary investor Warren Buffett famously said his favorite holding period for a stock is forever. He's in it for the long haul, which is how he turned a few $1,000s as a young man into billions over decades. This ability to delay gratification also applies to career moves. Ultra-rich folks often spend years mastering a skill or building a company before expecting huge rewards. They don't need immediate validation. They play the long game. On the flip side, if you've ever blown your paycheck on a new gadget or luxury right away instead of investing that money, you've felt how tempting instant gratification is. Our brains love immediate rewards, but training yourself to wait, to invest money rather than spend it, is key to growing wealth. The ultra-rich get a dopamine kick, not from spending money, but from seeing their investments grow. Strategic and big picture thinking. The wealthy also excel at strategic thinking when it comes to money. They don't just earn money, they put each dollar to work with a purpose. Every financial decision is part of a bigger plan. This might mean budgeting at a high level. Yes, billionaires think about budgets too, just on a larger scale. Or carefully choosing where to invest their time and energy. They often ask, how does this move get me closer to my goal of financial freedom or business growth? For instance, the ultra-rich focus on assets over liabilities. An asset is something that generates income or grows in value, like investments, real estate, or a business, while a liability just eats up money. Wealthy people love buying or building assets and avoid throwing money at liabilities that don't serve them. That's why you might see a millionaire investing in a rental property or stocks rather than buying a flashier car. It's not that they never enjoy luxuries, but they tend to take care of building assets first. In Taoism, there is a concept known as Wu Wei, or effortless action, which encourages us to release resistance and simply allow things to unfold naturally. In Stoicism, the idea of forgiveness is central to maintaining our peace and tranquility. Holding on to anger is like trying to hold water in our hands. It slips away, leaving us empty and frustrated. By forgiving, we release the negative energy and allow ourselves to move forward with peace in our hearts. Forgiveness does not mean we condone the wrongdoing, but rather, we free ourselves from the emotional chains that resentment creates. Forgiveness, like the flow of water, becomes an act of personal liberation, letting go of the past and choosing to move forward with a clear, open heart. It is a powerful form of self-care and inner strength, helping us cultivate a sense of calm, peace, and emotional balance, regardless of external circumstances. Perspective is another powerful tool in dealing with disrespect. The Taoist worldview teaches us that everything in life is in constant motion, and nothing is permanent. Disrespect, like any negative event, is a temporary ripple in the vast ocean of life. By taking a step back and viewing the situation from a larger perspective, we realize that most instances of disrespect are fleeting, insignificant in the grand scheme of our lives. It helps to remind ourselves that the opinions and actions of others do not define us, and that the value of our life is not determined by how others treat us, but by how we choose to respond to them. As Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, wisely said, "Our life is what our thoughts make it." When we shift our perspective, we see that disrespect is not a reflection of our worth, but of the other person's inner state. This understanding helps us to not take things personally and to respond with composure, knowing that we can choose how we want to engage with the world. In life, just as in the movement of water, we must remain fluid and adaptable, able to flow around obstacles and keep moving forward, no matter what. The discipline and wisdom of Taoism and Stoicism teach us that we have the power to shape our own responses to life's challenges. Your life in ways you never imagined. Just like the wind, though invisible, it's powerful enough to move mountains, shift the course of rivers, and change the landscape. It is a reminder that the greatest forces in life often cannot be seen, but their effects are undeniable. This invisible power, which resides within each of us, can reshape the very fabric of your reality if you choose to harness it. So, what is this hidden force? It's your inner strength, your determination, and most importantly, your mindset. The teachings of Stoicism, a philosophy of resilience, calmness, and ultimate peace, offer us the tools to tap into this potential. Alongside Stoicism, we'll explore principles of discipline, persistence, determination, and cosmic energy, all elements that, when combined, allow you to unlock a new version of yourself, one that is unstoppable. The wind of change, transformation, is invisible but powerful. The wind is unseen, yet it is one of the most powerful forces in nature. You can't see the wind, but you can feel it, and you can see its effects. This is how change works in your life. Transformation is not always visible in the beginning, but it is happening all around you and within you. Every challenge, every struggle you face is like the wind, pushing, shaping, and propelling you forward. Though it might seem overwhelming, it's in these moments of difficulty that you will find your greatest growth. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, said, "The obstacle is the way." What does this mean? It means that every challenge you encounter is not here to defeat you, but to push you toward becoming the person you are meant to be. The obstacles in your path are not the enemy. They are the very means of your growth. Like the wind, they may feel harsh and unrelenting at times, but they are necessary to shape you into something stronger. What if you could learn to embrace these challenges rather than run from them? What if you could see every difficulty as an opportunity to evolve? That is the essence of Stoic thinking. It teaches you that you have the power to reframe your circumstances, to transform them from obstacles into stepping stones. You don't need to control the wind, but you can adjust your sails and use its force to guide you. The reflection, mastering the mind to master your life. When you look in the mirror, what do you see? Your reflection holds more than just the image of your face. It holds the key to understanding your true self. But too often we become trapped in external influences, measuring ourselves by the standards of society, success, or others' expectations. The Stoic teaches that the most important reflection is the one you find in your mind. In Stoicism, we learn that true power comes from controlling what's within, not the world outside. He who is not a good servant will not be a good master, said Epictetus. This means that your inner world, your thoughts, emotions, and reactions, must first be mastered before you can hope to control your external circumstances. We cannot always change what happens to us, but we can always choose how we respond. Gratification is like a superpower for saving and investing. If you can resist the eat the marshmallow now urge, you can resist blowing your paycheck immediately and instead invest it for a bigger payoff later. Now, as adults, our marshmallows are everywhere. That new phone, those shoes, the urge to upgrade your car right now. Training yourself to wait, even when your brain is drooling for the treat, can directly translate to building wealth. Each time you delay an unnecessary purchase, it's like telling your brain, hey, I don't need the instant hit. I'd rather have a bigger reward later. You're reinforcing neural pathways that favor long-term thinking. The good news is, you can train yourself to get better at waiting for that second marshmallow.